More and more businesses now are starting to realize the importance of having software. Alex Becker is now a centimillionaire for selling Hyros. And if you didn't know, it uses AI to help attribute sales data. And if you don't use Hyros, it's very expensive. So it's working. You can make a lot of money from just using AI and building software. Alex Hormozi, for example, he exited his SaaS for $60 million. We also have Sam Ovens, who owns School. So Russell Brunson, who owns ClickFunnels. Of course, Iman Ghazi, who owns Agency Flow and is also currently building out Educate. And close to a year ago, I was at a buddy of mine's house and we were playing Call of Duty, and he asked me, wait, Hugo, you're making $60,000 to $70,000 a month right now. Do you have a team? And I was just quick scoping him and I was like, yeah, I have a team. Why? And he was like, well, are you using AI automation at all right now to automate anything in your business so then you can like maybe save some time or make more money from the time that you're saving? And I'm like, what do you mean? And this, keep in mind, this was almost a year ago. And he was like, is there something that you do every day that you don't necessarily have to do? Maybe in the operations side, maybe it's the HR side, maybe it's even in the client delivery side. And I was like, yeah, our agency handles a lot of emails for clients, automations. We have to schedule them out. And my friend, he went on his laptop, he dug out the backend API of this email hosting software. And he was like, hey, I can automate all of that for you. And you can just pretty much save all that money from hiring and save all that time and just pretty much automate this with AI. And it was from that moment on, I then realized, hey, you could pretty much make a lot of money from this by offering this to businesses. And that's why I wanted to make this video today. If you're new here, I'm Hugo. I'm 23 years old. I am born and raised in Hong Kong. I'm currently traveling the world at the moment. And I own two agencies. One is an eCom email marketing agency, and the other agency is a digital course agency. And we've recently been offering AI services on top of what we're currently offering to our clients to add an extra $10, $20, even $30,000 a month in recurring revenue to our business. And here's how you can do as well. And here's how you can start from scratch. And I am not a developer in any way. I got a C- in Java back in uni and I wasn't very good at it. I'm an advertiser. Spent a couple of last years doing that. And that's why I happen to have a lot of friends who are also developers, and we've been talking about this for a while, and that's why I wanted to make this video today. I'm also building a Discord community for people who want to start an agency, and feel free to join and click on the link in the description down below to join my newsletter, where I'm sending out 3 emails every single week, which I personally take the time out of my day to write and send them out to you. So feel free to join the email newsletter and you'll receive a link to join the Discord community right there. So before we get into how we can start an AI automation agency and start making $500 per day, we need to figure out how can we price? How should we price? I know one guy who owns an AI automation agency and he only charges per project. So he only charges, let's say $5K per client, and he only gets like, let's say 3 clients a month. And I know another agency owner who charges differently. He doesn't charge per project, but he charges per month. And I also know another client who charges each client in 6-month contracts, so he gets 6-figure deals every single month. But just for reference, I make $10,000 per client, and if I want to upsell them an AI service, I would usually charge anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500, but it just really depends on their needs and what they want in that AI software or their chatbot. So without further ado, let's dive into how you can start your own AI automation agency right now, step by step. All right, so now let's dive into how to start making $500 per day from your own AI automation agency. Let's cover what we're gonna go through today. We're gonna cover if you're able to actually become your own entrepreneur. You'll also learn what an AI automation agency is and the different industries which you could operate that in. You'll also learn what kind of tools you'll need before starting and what you don't need. And I'll also go through how to pick a niche and build a really solid offer which clients really wanna work with you for. Of course, last but not least, the most important part is service delivery and actually delivering your service to your clients. What is an AI automation agency? Well, an AI automation agency is basically an agency which provides a service to a business, and that service could be using AI or without AI, but since we're an AI automation agency, we're using AI to provide services to clients to make them more money or to save them more money. And AIAA is blowing up right now. A lot of people are trying to start their own agency because it has such a low barrier to entry. It's kind of easy to start, and you don't need much startup capital, and you don't need to have years of experience in coding. It's a perfect addition to entrepreneurs who have already been in the game already and who want to dive into AI and maybe add AI services to their businesses. And it's also a great way for beginners to start their own agency as a means to enter the business world of entrepreneurship. And it's also great for people who are maybe working a 9 to 5, maybe you're a developer working for a company right now, and you may not be very happy and you want to start something for yourself or on the side. It's a perfect time to actually start practicing to learn a very high value skill. So the first type of AI automation service you could provide for your clients is chatbots. So chatbots can solve a variety of different problems. But you can first start off by using BotPress for chatbots. Stack AI is more so for creating AI apps. But BotPress is basically a no-code tool to build chatbots where you can then start implementing and deploying to your clients' websites or their funnels, which then you're able to collect data and then send personalized messages. It's pretty easy to learn. I'm still learning this myself, and it's really easy to deploy to your clients' websites, meaning that you can just build the chatbot on BotPress, and it's easy to just transfer over to your client's, let's say, website or pages. The next important thing is AI apps and building apps for your, let's say, for your clients and for your customers. And this is when we're going to start using Stack AI. So I have, some friends who have been working with me inside my agency, and we've used Stack AI and used some AI automation, softwares and tools to actually automate our own agency. So when you're just starting out, I recommend you just start with BotPress first, as in the chatbots. Start learning how to build chatbots. Then slowly and steadily, you can then start learning how to build AI apps and no-code softwares, and having that money to invest into actually learning. But if you have clients already, they're gonna pay for that app. And thirdly is AI automation. So I'm sure some of you guys have heard about Zapier before, and we've been using Zapier already in our business for a while now, and also for our clients' business. Zapier is pretty much like a connective tissue between apps. So imagine your organs are your apps. Your Zapier is just basically connecting and updating information between these apps and organs, right? So let's say, a customer is in your email flow and the customer buys your product. You don't want to be pushing the same email to that customer to buy your product because he's already bought. So you want to actually tag that customer as already purchased. So then you can send a different type of marketing message for them maybe to buy again, rather than trying to get them to buy for the first time. So having Zapier to upgrade and update these status updates is really important, and having that knowledge base of using Zapier properly is super important and super helpful if you want to skyrocket your income in 2023. So let's take a look at some examples of some AI automation and some tools that you can start building for your clients. So the first example is a sales chatbot. So what is a sales chatbot? Well, some businesses have sales teams to start calling up their customers to then sell their products or their services. So when you have a sales team, sometimes you have dead leads, right? So what are leads? Leads are basically people who have opted into a business's ecosystem. Let's say they showed interest in something, that's a lead. And they may not have bought yet, but using AI and AI chatbots, you can then slowly nurture them through a buying process to get them to book a call with your sales team, or to even just buy your product straight away. It's a great way to revive dead leads or push current and existing leads to book a call and to buy your product. Let's say you have 1,000 dead leads who you haven't contacted in a while, and you just send them through this automation with AI. You can then start getting sales on automatic and autopilot without having to hire, without having to put in any extra work. All you have to do is just spend, let's say, an hour on integrations and automations, and you're pretty much gonna start making money from your dead leads again. So if you're able to build up a sales chatbot for your clients, it's super helpful. I know people who have done that for big clients and make a lot of money, but there is so many things you can do, and I'm only bringing up this example just to show some inspiration, and hopefully you guys have a better idea of what you guys want to do for your own AI automation business. Now on to example 2, which is eCom chatbots. So the goal here is to help find out what customers on these online brands' websites are looking for, right? They're probably looking for products. So you want to have an AI chatbot there to actually guide them through the process, and maybe they're a returning customer. Maybe they've bought something from your store before. Maybe you want your AI chatbot to offer them something different, or maybe cross-sell them or upsell them. Make sure that they spend more time on the website. You want to also offer a mix and match of products. So it's pretty much like smart AI product recommendation tools. Also present surveys to customers, asking them what they want to see more from your brand. And also you can see if you want to offer discounts for returning customers, right? AI can identify if a customer has been on your website before and offer like maybe a smaller discount the next time they purchase. Example number 3 is in Zapier list management example. So basically what this is if you have a email list, or if your client has a business and if your client has an email list, you can actually manage that email list for them with Zapier. So the goal here is to put a name or a tag under every person on the email list so we can target them with a specific marketing message. All you gotta do is kind of see for yourself what kind of niche and what kind of industry you're looking for. But these are just some examples which you guys can start taking notes of and start implementing into your own business. Now let's move on to what you really need to start an AI automation business, and more importantly, what you don't need. What you first need is you need an email so you can start sending emails to businesses, and also you need a laptop where you can start delivering these services to your clients, and maybe also even hopping on calls. This is optional, but you don't need a phone. But if you want to cold call your clients and call them up on the phone, you guys can, and that's why you need a phone. Now, here is what you don't need. You don't need crazy coding skills. You don't need to have thousands saved up. You don't need to have a registered business or an LLC. You don't need employees. You don't need a team. You can do this by a one-man army, and you don't even need to have any business experience, and you don't even need extreme tech. So it's a pretty lucrative business for beginners to start, and that's why it's so popular right now. So now let's go through how we can pick a niche and start finding some businesses to work with, right? So before I start a niche, this even applied to when I started a social media marketing agency. I wanted to pick an industry which is ever growing and also evergreen, meaning that it is not capped by its geological location. So let's say I was starting off and I wanted to start a social media marketing agency, right? I can definitely start off by cold calling local businesses near me and having them as my client. But sooner or later, you're gonna start to run out and exhaust that population of their customers because they're geologically bound to a location. So you can't really scale that business, right? So if you can't scale their business to unseen heights, you can't scale your business to unseen heights. What you want to do is look for markets and industries which are ever growing and which is mass market and which is kind of maybe worldwide too. But if you're just starting out and you want to dip your toes into starting an AI automation first, maybe your first couple of months, you want to start working with local businesses and then using those case studies to then start working with worldwide businesses. And also, we want it to be evergreen. We don't just want this business to be active 1 month of the year. Let's say a swimwear brand. And of course, we want to make sure that we're able to slide in automations to their businesses as smoothly as possible without much hassle. So here are some niches you can start considering when you're starting out your agency. So healthcare is pretty good. You can target hospitals, doctors, local clinics, even dentists, med spas. Manufacturing is good too. You can automate a lot of things to do with that. I also have seen a lot of success with waste removal and litters. I'm using AI to help automate that and make life easier and make the businesses' lives easier. Finance and banking, chatbots for that too, automation for that. SMMA, of course, we've got lots of people hopping on the SMMA train. eCom, of course, chatbots for that, product recommendations, a lot of stuff that we can start implementing. And we can even start implementing smart product photos, right? We can start implementing those down the line. I know some people who are developing smart product photos and build agencies on top of that. So pretty cool. And also supply chain, logistics, and also HR and operations. So now that you have decided on your niche, now it's time to craft a bulletproof offer. An offer is kind of like a package in a way you present your service and your business to make it more attractive to the prospect and the client so then they can start working with you, right? So if you just go up to a person and say, oh, I'll help you make money, that's not an offer. You want to go up to the client and you say, we'll help you make this much money through AI automation in under 6 weeks, or you don't pay. That's an offer. So here's how we can build a bulletproof offer so then you guys can start going out there and signing some clients. If you haven't seen this before, don't worry, but Daddy Hormozi has taught this to a lot of people, and this value equation is super valuable in judging whether or not your offer is or the value of your offer is strong enough. The first numerator is the dream outcome. What does your business or what does your client want, right? Do they want to make more money? Do they want to save more time? What is it, right? You first want to identify that dream outcome and you want to multiply that by the perceived likelihood of achievement. So if your client were to work with you, how likely is it for them to achieve that dream outcome? So if they work with you for 1 month, how likely are they to make that money back, right? So if it's very likely, if they feel like it's very likely, then that's more value, right? That they're more likely to work with you. And if that dream outcome is more strong, let's say they only wanted to make $5,000 and you make them $20,000. That's such a strong dream outcome. Multiplied by a strong likelihood to achieve that outcome, that's a really strong value, right? You also have to take into account that the denominators, right? You have the time delay. The longer it is to achieve that result, the smaller the value. The faster it is to achieve that result, the higher the value. And of course, you also have effort and sacrifice. If you have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice, the value is less. But if you can just snap your finger and you've just made $1 million, that's so much value right there. You want to position all these 4 elements in a way where you're primed your offer and your value. You want to make sure it's very valuable and you're speaking to the right people. And that's how you can start building a disgusting client generation machine. Now we're looking at examples again. So now let's say we're building an eCom client chatbot. So we're building a chatbot for an eCom brand online. And our goal is we want to target the founder or the co-founder or even the chief marketing officer or the CMO of the company, because they can make decisions. So we want to be targeting these people because they can then decide whether or not they want to work with you, rather than if you were to reach out to someone who was maybe lower ranked in the company, you are not able to sign that company on as a client. I hope that makes sense. And the goal is to extend the customer page view time, because on e-com websites, if you are on that website for a longer amount of time, chances are you're going to be spending more money. What we want the chatbot to do is then to extend the period or the session duration of that customer on the website. And by spending more time on the website, the customer is more eager to get a product here, get a product there, and spend more money. And therefore, you've just made your client more money. And let's say you work with an e-commerce business making $50,000 a month and you make them 100 extra sales per month. They make, let's say, $4,000 to $5,000 from those sales that you've generated them through your AI chatbot, and you can easily charge them half that price. You have 5 clients just like that, and you just made 6 figures a year. Here's another example. So let's say you're targeting SMMA owners, so business people who own an agency in social media marketing. So we want to target the founder, the co-founder again, or the CMO or the COO, which is in charge of operations. But the goal is to save this business founder 3 hours of work per day. And usually this business owner is probably paying someone to do this work per day. So if we're able to automate that for them, not only is this business, saving money every month, but he's also saving a lot of time. It'll depend on your business whether or not you want to actually start replacing people with AI, but I actually pride myself on being able to provide for my team members. So I actually like to keep the team, relatively human. But I know a lot of businesses out there like to keep it lean in terms of costs and stuff, and I get it. So you can apply this to agency owners if you want to start doing some outreach, and if you're sure that this is your industry you want to operate in. Now we have our offer down, we have our niche down, we know what to do. Where do we find clients? Let's dive right in. So the first method is called myip.ms, and it's a pretty useful tool that I've been using for a long time now. And it's a free public search tool to find e-com websites. And what you want to also do is you want to use the Chrome extension snov.io to then grab these business owners' email addresses and names and even phone numbers. So then you can start adding these names and emails to an Excel sheet, and then you can start sending them emails. Second method is using LinkedIn, or even better, using the paid version, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So what you want to do is you want to search for your niche, and you want to filter by title, by name, company size, how many employees they have, maybe even how much revenue they're generating per month. And you want to add that contact into your own list and save them, so you can then start outreaching to them and using that same Google Chrome extension snov.io to then find these people's emails, so that you can start outreaching to them and start signing them as clients. The third method is Facebook groups. So I love this method because one of my mentors actually taught me this. You want to actually go on Facebook groups and search up, let's say your niche. So let's say for my niche is tax deduction, right? So let's say I want to help business owners or help companies save more taxes. You can then start going on these Facebook groups, start searching that niche, join 10 to 20 groups, and then start posting valuable content on how AI could help save taxes, or how you can use AI to save taxes. If people are commenting and engaging on your posts, you then want to start engage with them, start sending them a message saying, hey, if I could help you out or provide more value first before you ask, right? This is just the Facebook method, which I find very valuable, and I've signed consistent clients just from using this method alone. The fourth method is the Google search method. So you're just gonna go on your phone, you're gonna go on Safari, and you're just gonna Google businesses near me. So for example, I am gonna reach out to chiropractors. I'm just gonna search up chiropractors near me. I'm gonna collect the phone number, email, even try call them up that day and say, oh, hey, am I speaking to the business owner here? And if they say yeah, then I'm just gonna try and schedule a quick call with them, even do a quick cold call and just pitch to my services. It's pretty fun to do it sometimes. You can also watch my shorts on this channel. Just go in shorts and watch my cold call stuff. But this is a great way to get started within your area and to then expand to worldwide. So if you're just starting out, I recommend using this method first too. All right, so now let's talk about how to sign clients, right? So you actually outreach to these clients. You reached out to them, and maybe some of them replied, maybe some of them didn't. What do you do now, right? So let's take a look at the next steps. First of all, let's go a little bit before that. So what's before the sales call? Well, before the sales call, they don't even know you yet. So they saw your message, you outreach to them like, hey, I'm Hugo. I've just audited your business, and there's so many things you can automate with your business. And here are a few things that I've taken down. And here are the few things I've taken down. And I wanted to maybe share those things on you, and I maybe wanted to share those things with you on a quick 5-minute call if that's okay. Let me know and hit me back if you're free, right? That's a really cool outreach message, and you can just type that up, and let's say they replied. You want to then pitch the call, right? You want to sell the call, right? On that email, they're like, hey, Hugo, I am interested in your services. What do I do now? Then you can then pitch them, hey, are you free for a call this week? Let me pencil you in for a call. And remember, you want the business owner to hop on a call with you. You want to sell the call on your messages. You don't want to sell your service on the message. A lot of people get this wrong. A lot of beginners get this wrong, and I got this wrong before as well, but let me say that one more time. When you first start out, you don't want to sell your service on text. You want to sell the call on text. And when you're on the call, you then want to sell your service, and you then want to sell yourself. That makes sense. But at the end is when, let's say they've agreed to hop on a call with you and you actually meet them on Zoom. What do? You meet with the business owner, and a lot of guys start stressing out. They're like, oh, I don't want to hop on a sales call. I don't want to show my face. I don't want to have to talk with people. I don't want to have to talk with business owners. But in this line of business, you don't have to show your face, but showing your face and talking to people is a great way to actually network, and I think it's just a great way to make more money. But trust me, I think you'll start to enjoy and love it because you'll start encountering a lot of businesses you've never heard of in really crazy and cool niches. I've worked with businesses in the height growth serum. I worked with CBD companies. And if you're feeling a little nervous before your Zoom call, it's totally normal. I was like that when I first started off too, so it's all okay. Just gotta put in the reps and just keep doing it consistently every day till you get used to it. So I have a few tips when it comes to what to say on the sales call. So on the sales call, you wanna always give more than you ask. All right, so on the sales call, when you first hop on, you don't want to just be talking about me. Oh, hey, John, I'm Hugo. I own an agency, and I'm doing this for a lot of clients, and I want to do this for you too. It's really cool that what you're doing. I want to learn more. You don't want to be like that guy on the sales call. You want to appear as the authority figure. You want to lead the conversation, and you want to pretty much genuinely help them out. And if you can't, then I don't want your money, right? If I know that I can help you out and I know that you can afford it, I want your money, and I want to help you out. Pretty honest transaction there, right? Also want to take deep breaths, right? Before the meeting. When I first started out taking sales calls, I was drinking so much coffee, I was vaping so much, I was smoking cigarettes, and I was just jittery and just like, I couldn't really perform on my sales calls. So nowadays, I just don't smoke 1 hour before, don't drink coffee 1 hour before. I just do that after the call once I've signed and closed the client. So, and if you guys smoke or drink coffee, do that after. So I'm starting the movement, guys. No coffee, no nicotine 1 hour before sales, and only after you celebrate. Give yourself a reward. And also speak slow. When I first started, I spoke so fast that the business owner didn't even understand what I was saying. I had to slow myself down, practice my tonality, practice in front of the mirror, and look at my calls and actually record my calls. Record all of the Zoom calls and actually go through them, see what you could do better, and take notes. And this is how you improve, and this is how you make more money. Now let's on to the last step, which is service delivery. So what you want to do when you first deliver your service is you want to stick with one thing, right? I've already talked about the niche just now, but a lot of people, when they first start an agency, they immediately change niches. When you actually start getting your first maybe 2-3 clients in the same niche, don't start changing niches. Keep doing the same thing because it's super important. Operating chatbots and AI apps in different niches is just so much hassle and there's so much maintenance involved. It'll make it super hard for you to scale. There's a reason you want to only scale in one niche. It's super simple. You just copy and paste your chatbot as many times as you want. Secondly, is you keep the same systems for each client. So if you keep the same systems for each client, you keep the same systems for your business. Imagine having different ways of fulfilling your service for different clients. It just gets so messy. But if you're just fulfilling it one way for all clients, then you can take on 100 clients with ease. Quick pro tip here, within the first 24 hours of signing a client, so let's say you manage to sign a client, congratulations, but that first 24 hours after they've agreed to work with you is the most important time for your client and your relationship. You want to make sure that you over-deliver in the first 24 hours and make sure that you give them a really premium experience, and also make sure that they're happy and there's no questions left unanswered. Giving a premium experience doesn't just mean giving premium results. It means communicating effectively and making sure that they have no objections on their end to work with you. And that comes to the end of this video. I hope you found super valuable stuff on building your own AI automation agency and also how to make around $500 a day with this business model. So if you enjoyed or found some value in this video, give it a like and a comment, and even subscribe if you're thinking of starting your own agency.